Oh, you showed up. Yeah. Right, is there anyone else coming with you, or is this it now? Well, who are we missing? Hazza? David? Jawar? Yeah. Ray as well, yeah.
Yeah, Ray.
Wow,
Is it possible?
He skipped the test, huh?
First time I get.
Right, so here's the deal, as I told the other students in the tutorial yesterday. As you know, the way it works with NCUK is that they get someone to write their exam. And so it means that it's usually a different person every 2 or 3 years, right? Who's this now? David? Ding, ding, ding.
Oh.
Come on. Okay, so as I was saying, because they get someone to write the exam, it means every 2 or 3 years it's usually someone different, and this means the style of the exam can sometimes be a little different. Okay? Now, the person who writes the exam is supposed to only use what's on the syllabus, obviously. They can't make up new questions. But sometimes people misunderstand the syllabus. You don't have to worry too much about that, because as I was designing your maths workbook, I included topics and questions in it that I feel would possibly be on the exam but are not on the syllabus. So, for example, I'll give you an example. One of the learning outcomes in the syllabus is students need to solve one linear and one quadratic. We did this in class, right? But sometimes in the exam you might see a question like this. You know, something like y equals x plus, you don't have to write this down by the way, y equals x plus 1, and let's say y squared plus x squared equals 10 or something like this. Now we did these ones in class, you know how to do these ones, but technically this shouldn't be on the exam, even though it has been, because this is not one linear and one quadratic. Does anyone know what the second equation is?
The equation of circle?
It's a circle. It's one linear and one circle. You know, really they should only be giving you questions like this. That's one linear and one quadratic. So do you understand, when I made your workbook, I already factored in potential future mistakes by the exam writer. Okay. However, as I was looking at past exams, I noticed that there were 2 questions that were in past exams that showed up once but were not in the syllabus. So I thought I better do these 2 just in case they reappear. Okay, so the first one, it looks quite simple, but you might be surprised. And by the way, the marking scheme for this answer was wrong. So the way the examiner gave the answer was the wrong way, and they made a stupid mistake, which, to be honest, a lot of students would make.
So
but,
2 mistakes.
not 2 mistakes in the sense that they shouldn't have asked these questions, and 1 mistake in the marking scheme with one of these questions. So suppose I ask you to solve something like, I don't know, something like this. Okay? Now, it doesn't look too difficult, right? So I'll give you a minute to see if you can get the answer. I feel like maybe half of you will and half of you won't, but all of you probably think you got the answer. Come on, take out some pen and paper now. Right, you're finished, David? And what answer did you get? Yeah, what's your full answer? X is greater than minus a half. Okay, I think that's wrong.
X
X
is
is
less
smaller
than
than 1/4.
1.
X is smaller than 1/4?
Wait, no, minus. Wait.
Hang on, what did you get? What you got, Timmy?
X is less than minus half.
Isn't that what you said, David? Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Oh,
What did you get, Amy?
that's nice.
X is smaller than a half.
That's wrong too.
Wait.
Do you get an answer? Nessa?
Sí.
Yeah. See, this is the type of question where you all think you got the answer, but you're probably all wrong. What did you get?
From -1 to -5.
This sounds more like the right answer. Now, don't you say it, but just the rest of you, what do you do first? Move. What do you multiply by? Yeah, now that's wrong, amazingly. Now, you probably know why, so don't say anything, Nikita, but why is it wrong to multiply by 1 plus x? Yeah. And if it was negative, what do you do to the sign? Yeah, so is 1 plus x positive or negative? Who knows? So you can't multiply by 1 plus x because you don't know if you're supposed to swap the inequality. However, there is a way around this. So is there something you could multiply both sides by that you know is number 1, positive, and number 2 will cancel the 1 plus x? Nice try, but no. Nice try.
X squared?
Not quite x squared, but you're close. You need to multiply both sides by 1 plus x squared. And you see then this cancels this and you're left with 1 plus x is more than 2 times 1 plus x squared. Yeah. Now, by the way, in the Markan scheme, what do you think they multiplied by?
1
1
plus
plus
x.
x. Yeah. So,
Yes.
idiots, you know. Because, alright, you can forgive a student making this mistake who's never done this before, but you can't forgive a maths teacher who should know better who's writing this exam. Okay? So, you know,
But isn't this wrong?
no, this is multiplying by 1 plus x squared is right.
No, I mean like the bigger than shouldn't not be the below it.
No? No?
Because at all, on the right side is squared, so at all
Yeah, no,
times-
because x could be a fraction. So it'll be, we'll see the answer. Look, so this is 1 plus x is more than 2 plus 4x plus 2x squared, yeah? So that's 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, is that right? If I take everything over to the right, is that right? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. Now, I don't know. Does this have factors? It might. 2x, x, 1 and 1. I think it does actually.
Yeah, it's 2 and 1.
Plus and plus.
Plus plus
So it's
2, 1 and
So if you,
minus
yeah, if you draw this, it's minus 1 and minus a half. And do we want above or below?
below.
Below. So x is to be between minus 1 and minus a half. So if you use any x value between minus 1 and minus a half, then 1 over 1 plus x will be more than 2. Now, we can certainly sub in a value and check it, but it should work there. Okay. Now, I don't think they will ask you this question because they're not supposed to, since it's not really on the syllabus. Okay, but it was in one of the past papers once, so. Okay. And the second example I want to do with you, I think the second one you'll have no trouble with, but just to be safe, I just want you to solve this.
Plus.
Right, solve this. What should you do first? No conjugate necessary. I mean, you could, but there's something else you could do.
Make a. Oh,
Go, what is it?
Plus one.
I was so close.
Yeah, sure. answer? Got an answer? Yeah. What'd you get?
3 or negative 3 over 4.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What? Oh.
No.
3 or minus 3 over 4. What did you get?
9.
Hmm. Oh,
Hmm.
actually 9 does sound better.
Oh wait.
Now, let's have a look at this. There are two ways to do this one. Two ways. The first way I did with the students yesterday. So if you watch the tutorial video yesterday and look at the second example, you can see how I did it yesterday. And the way I did it yesterday is probably how you guys all did it, which is you cross multiply and then next
Then
square it and then solve it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the x's should be 3, I think. And the other x is, oh sorry, one of the x's is 9 and the other x is
Like 9 divided by 16, that doesn't fit.
9 over 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But there is another way to do this. I want to show you.
Oh, great.
You get 4x cross multiply is 9 plus 9 root x. Okay, and then what you could do next is square. But I'm going to do it a different way without squaring. So I'll just take everything to the left. 4x minus 9 root x minus 9 equals 0. Now, if you look really closely, you realize that I already have a quadratic. Ah, so obvious now. Because this guy here is the square of this guy.
Yeah.
So it is already a quadratic,
Oh, okay.
but the variable is root x. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So one of them, I need two numbers to multiply to make 4 and multiply to make 9. Maybe 9 and 1 and 4 and 1.
4 and 1 and 3 and
3 and 3, you reckon? 3 and 3 and 4.
3 and
12. Oh yeah, minus here and plus here. Yeah?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Now we get two answers to consider. Either root x equals 3 or 4 root x root x equals minus 3 over 4. Now Nikita, what answer did you get earlier?
9 and 9 over 16.
And are they both positive?
Yeah.
Or was one of them negative? They were both positive answers in the way when you squared it?
Yeah.
Because if you go back to the question, this is important, the x must be a positive
Yeah.
because of this guy. Has to be.
Uh-huh.
It could be 0, but 0 is not possible because you get 0 equals 9 quarters, so it has to be positive. This here doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
Because you can't have the root of a number equal to minus 3 over 4, can you? But this one looks promising, so if I was to square this, I'd get x equals 9. Now, the only problem with this method is it seems to me that I've missed the second answer, but it's possible that your second answer might not work. So what was the second answer when you used the squaring method? You got 9
9 over 16.
and 9 over 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, we all agree that 9 is an answer, but let's check if 9 over 16 is an answer. So 9 over 16 over 1 plus root 9 over 16, that should equal 9 over 4. So 9 over 16 over 1 plus 3 over 4. 9 over 16 over 7 over 4. I multiply the top and bottom by 16. So that'll be 9 over 28. Does that simplify? No.
Oh, yeah, I said you're on the second equation already.
I was just subbing in your other answer. So you got two answers, but it seemed like your second answer doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah? No, it might be actually worth looking at why maybe that is. I can only get one answer here, x is 9 using this method, but let's look at the other method, okay? So if I take it from here and square now, I get 16x squared, yeah? Oh, do you know what I'll do actually? I'll take the 9 to the left first to make it a little easier. 4x minus 9 equals 9 root x. Now I'll square. 16x squared minus 72
Yeah, no,
x
minus 153x.
plus 81 equals 81x. Did I do that expansion right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just bringing
Oh,
this
okay.
one.
60x squared minus, what did you say?
153.
153x. Is this what you got?
Yeah.
Plus 81 equals 0. And can we simplify this or not? No.
No.
Okay, so what are the two? Well, there's definitely going to be an x plus minus not x minus 9 and 16x minus 9.
Yeah.
So I get x equals 9 over 16 or 9.
Yeah.
No, this looks like it should work because we just need x to be a positive.
Yeah, and we don't always check, like, we don't
Yeah.
always insert numbers.
Yeah, but this is the thing about these problems with the square root quadratics. You have to check your answer because sometimes the process gives you a second answer which doesn't solve the original equation. This is the problem. Even though it looks like it should work because it's a positive, you know. And I don't think any step we made was wrong, was it?
No. So it is appropriate question. It's just tricky.
Yeah, it looks a little simpler than it is, but you know, I think most students would not realise that this answer, unless they subbed it in.
Yeah.
I-
Or like, unless they're like individuals and do it in your way.
Or do it
Natural
this
one.
way. But I don't think that most people would realise that it's already a quadratic at this step. Yeah. Now, I just want to give you a brief explanation of why the process, the way you did it, generated an extra answer that doesn't work. Okay? Can I scroll down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we will like write down the two answers, will we can.
You'll lose a mark if you don't reject the answer that doesn't work. Yeah. So, why is it that your method gave you an extra answer and my method gave me only the one right answer? And the reason is this. There's a theorem in maths that says if you have an equation with a power n, xn plus blah 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 equals 0, then you can have at most n solutions. But if you were to square this equation, then the biggest power is no longer n. What does it become? 2n. Now you haven't made twice as many answers. You still have the original equation, and the original equation should have n answers. But by squaring it, you make the power greater, and so you make extra answers. But there can't be extra answers. There can only be at most n answers.
Like maximum.
Like maximum number. So when you squared it, it was that step that produced extra answers that may not or should not work. Okay? So you have to be very careful when you square. Squaring usually produces extra answers that you don't need. So, I don't know, we could make a little sort of take care when square or something, I don't know.
Take care of myself.
Take care when you square. Could we get this into a rhyme? Take care when you square because... I need something about getting extra answers, you know? Care, square. Oh, take care when you square because you'll get answers that don't fit in there. I like it.
Too long.
Ah, well, how could we shorten it? I like it. Take care when you square because you'll get answers that don't fit in there. If anybody can think of a shorter, catchier version, we can go with that.
If you want to be fair.
No, I do like this. Yeah, yeah. This can be your Christmas assignment to think of something shorter.
No.
Right. Okay. So, anyways, I definitely wanted to do those two. Is there any topic that we're feeling is still a bit iffy?
Yeah.
What?
B section.
The graph one, the area and the curve.
Okay, forgot what
Do you have a particular section B? You do understand section B is just section A but longer.
Yeah.
Well, it looks really
But there is some topics introduced in section B as well that doesn't occur in.
Name one.
It was a question, man.
Oh, that was a question, not a statement.
Yeah, no paradox.
No,
Uh-huh.
no, they're just longer.
They
You
look
know?
different.
No, like I'll give you an example. Like this would be a section A question on finding the area, right? And this might be a section B question. It might be something like they could still have a cubic, but then they might have a tangent that they have here. So they might ask for this area. Now, in no way is that different other than being longer. This is two questions, isn't it? No, this is three questions. First, you find the tangent. But finding the tangent is a short question. How do you find the tangent?
Normal.
The dy dx. And then the next question is you find the root. How do you find the root? Make something zero. Make what zero? Make the function zero. Okay. Then you find this area. How do you find this area?
Integration.
Integration. Okay. Integration up to just, for example, this point where the tangent is. Okay. And then the second thing to do is to find the area of this triangle. And if you know this point and you know this point, do you know the base? Yeah. And if you know the x and the y here, do you know the height? Yeah, so then you get this. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. There is nothing different in section B other than the questions are multi-parts. But each part is a section A question. You know, part A, find the tangent. Did we do this in A? Yeah. Find part B, find the roots. Did we do this in A? Yeah. Part C, find the area under the quadratic or the cubic. Yeah. Part D, find the area of the triangle. Yeah. Part E, add them together.
Still,
What was the question of the example? Like find the area of triangle or like size of triangle or what?
In the section A,
No, like, as an example.
here,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there was section A questions where we had to find the area of a triangle.
there was.
Yeah.
Or
Like half the base by the height. Yeah, you want me to draw that one? What does that one look like, David? Let's see.
just gonna bring it there.
Let's see. So you've got fine. Okay, so you've got a quadratic, and you've got a line that cuts through the quadratic. Fine, and they want the area from here. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Is the question
So they want this area. Thank you.
or a question?
You can sit down then.
Is it
Now,
the section? Which section?
guys, this is a B question.
Great.
Let's break this down. So, first thing the question is going to ask you to do, it's either going to be two things, I'd say first. Either they're going to give you the quadratic and the line and ask for these points. How do you do that?
Integration. Oh, what? Oh.
If they give you the quadratic and the line, how do you find these 2 points here? Simultaneous. Or if they don't do that, then maybe it's they give you the quadratic and these 2 points and ask for the line. Or something along these lines. Or maybe they give you one of the points and they say the other, give you information about the other. So what, David, what do they ask for?
Find the equation of the line L. Give you an answer in the form y equals.
Okay, and what do you know?
The quadratic meets the linear at 5, 3.
The first one?
Second one.
Second one? Okay, so this is 5, 3.
And then the equation of the quadratic is y equals x squared minus 8x plus 18.
Okay, fine. And what do we know about this point?
The linear.
It's called
curve
P,
just
is it?
P, yeah, P. And then the line that cuts across is x equals a. That's the.
This line?
No, the other one. This one. I'm just gonna try. This one is x equals a.
Oh, there's this, what? Oh, that, okay, so they're just saying that this point here is A, that's all. Okay, and what else do you know about?
Base is x, 0 where it touches the x-axis.
The line L is a normal at 5, 3. Okay, fine, let's have a look at this. Okay, so, you know, they tell you in the question that this line here is a normal at 5, 3. So what should we do first?
Find the tangent.
Find the tangent, yeah. So how do we do that? dy dx equals 2x minus 8. What's x? What's x here? 5. So this will be 2. So what's the slope of the tangent? 2. So what's the slope of the normal? Minus a half. I have a point. I have the slope. Can I find this line? Yeah. So now we have y equals minus a half x plus c. Sub the point in. I get 3 equals minus 5 over 2 plus c. So c is 11 over 2. So I already have the line. Now how do I find this point? Put the y equal to 0 and you'll get x will be 11. Okay. Now, how can I get this point? P. How can I get P? Any ideas? No, you do.
Would you solve the quadratic?
Which one?
How do we find point P? Simultaneous.
Oh, yes.
X squared minus 8x plus 18 equals minus a half x plus 11 over 2. Multiplying by 2, 2x squared minus 16x plus 36 equals minus x plus 11. 2x squared minus 15x plus 25 equals 0. Now I already know one of the answers, don't I? One of the answers is supposed to be 5. So it must mean that this is a 5 and a 5. And it's a positive here, so it must mean it was a negative. And because this is a positive, then this one also has to be a negative. There's a 2 here. One of them has to be 2. Yeah, this works. So what's the second answer for P? Well, it's not 5, it's the other one. 5 over 2. And if I sub that back into any equation, I'll get the y. So if I sub it back into this, let me see, what do I get? Minus a half times 5 over 2 plus 11 over 2, yeah? So that's minus 5 over 4 plus 22 over 4. What's that? 17 over 4? So I have P. So there's only one thing left for me to do, which is to get the area. And I think the best way to get the area, what could I do? I could do it in 2 steps. I could get the area of this triangle, yes, and get the area under the quadratic here. So my answer would be the area is integrate from 5 over 2 to 5, the quadratic, plus a half the base. Now if that's 5 and that's 11, how big is this base here? Come on, if that's 5 and that's 11, it's 6. And the height? 3.
Positive.
Is it? So I've just done the full section B question
Just
practically
the
there.
rest is all. It's too much stuff in one book. That's why it's.
But, okay, I suppose my question is, why is it that it's okay to do section A, question 1, 2, 3, 4, and not say section B6, A, B, C, D? Like, what's the mental difference?
It sounds,
Do you get what I'm saying?
it sounds more work and it sounds
No, please
complicated.
intimidate him. That's the truth. When you open B6.
Do you know, like, suppose there was a section A, and question A1 was find the equation of the normal, and A2 was find the roots of this, and A3 was solve this linear and quadratic.
That's
How is that different to B6 part A, B, C, D? You know, this is...
Because
if you get one wrong,
But that's true, but how's that different? But that's true for your marking, but how is that different mentally for the work to solve it? It's not.
It just looks different. It's like, oh, this is A1 and A2.
yeah, it's like
That's
taking
easy.
you slow.
Yeah, but that's the only difference. But there's nothing mentally different about what you're doing here. It's just a mind game. It's just a
Nice
mind
point.
game.
Thanks for your TV.
Huh?
True though, because everyone was skipping these. Once I see the graph, I'm going
Like
back.
it's pressure.
Question?
You need to finish it.
Generally, for trigonometry,
Yeah.
if it's like the two 2000 thing, I don't know how to say it. Why do you have, okay, for sine, cos, and tan,
Yeah.
why do you have to plus?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I forgot.
Dude, no, I'm not telling you because you have this in the video and we did this in class like...
I know, I got it.
What's
Were
the
you
reason
not in...
for that?
No, maybe you missed the class actually. We did a class where we did like 12 of these questions. Were you in that class?
Yeah, she weren't in. She weren't in.
I was in.
Oh yeah, the two of you were working on these, weren't you? I remember now.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
What question?
It's clear.
Wow.
Sine, cos, tan. How do you get the second answer for sine?
What?
180.
180 minus the second.
Yeah.
Mine's the first.
Or quite
First.
And how'd you get the second answer in cos?
360 minus the first.
And tan?
180 plus the first.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
remember
first
this.
for each, yeah?
Answer is what you got in the calculator.
So this for the
If
break.
it's
I remember.
Then for rad, it's the
Yeah.
more than the
It's
limit.
it's the first answer for
Yeah.
each.
So just divide by 365. Minus by 365.
Yeah, it's on Moodle.
360.
Oh.
It's on Moodle, you can look for yourself.
Look at that. Okay.
Can I bring it?
No, of course not.
Why not? What would I possibly do?
Cheat, that's what you could possibly do.
Nah, me cheat? No. Never.
Any questions?
No.
Student.
Okay.
So for the rad, could you like write the rad one? Because now I'm confused about the 2 pi and the pi.
5.
2 pi. I was mixing the sign and the cos.
What was the second answer?
What?
What about the second answer?
That's exactly.
Are you really asking me?
It was.
This is the second answer. You mean the third answer,
Yeah.
which is the first answer plus 360. Do you know what the fourth one is?
That's what-
Do you know what the fourth answer is?
Wow,
You know what the fourth answer is?
No,
It
no,
is
no.
exactly the same. The second answer plus 360. Do you know what the fifth answer is? It's the third answer plus 360. Yeah, I know.
So
Oh, snap.
complicated.
Right, go. No, we're ending the class now. I'm tired. I'm tired of looking at you.
Oh!
I want to start my Christmas holiday.